Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. So, since the last episode, I've done a little bit of automation, mainly recipes and stuff of that nature. Also did a little bit of work in the blood magic area. I'm not going to go over there right this second, because we will see that later on in the episode. We'll see part of it, and then part of it we'll get into probably next episode, I'm thinking. Either next episode or the episode after. We'll get into that stuff. So, anyways, one thing that I did go ahead and do was I went ahead and automated the Rune of Summer. Okay, so now we have the Rune of Summer and then the Rune of Spring, both automated. Of course, those are two of our seasonal runes. The reason I went ahead and automated the Rune of Summer off camera is because it's really just a lot of crafting. Smooth Sandstone, Congealed Green Slime, Hot Spike Block, which is Spike Block, which is Iron Spikes, which is Wooden Spike, and then Solarium Block, Basalt, Burnt Quartz, and Sunglasses. Now, Basalt, it has to be the Project Red Exploration one. You have to go out and get Basalt Cobblestone and smelt it. It doesn't seem like you can use Britannia Basalt for that. But it really wasn't a big issue because if we take a look at the map here, off over here, I've actually got it marked on a waypoint right here, which I should probably actually remove it. But it is right down in, yeah, right here. Yeah, you can see all the lava here. I mined up a bunch of that volcano. Okay, now there's still some right here. It was actually kind of like raised. There was like a part of the ground that had lifted up, you know, and part of the volcano was up there, but I did get a lot off the ground. Currently we have 1,103 basalt, so I think we're okay for a bit on basalt. And that's where you're going to need to find that basalt, is a volcano. Okay, they're very easy to spot. But, yeah, I think that's the only place that the Project Red Basalt can spawn. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's the only place. So, if you're looking for that, you will need to find a volcano. So today we're going to be pushing onwards just a little bit with runes and getting our blood altar, our automatic blood generation going. Because that's really going to open up blood magic from here on out, having that automatic blood and not having to just keep stabbing ourselves. Now, to do that, we are going to actually need, if we take a look at the Ritual Diviner, right? This one right here. This is what we're going for, and we need 3 Elemental Inscription Tools of Dusk. That is Runes of Pride. Runes of Pride require Runes of Summer, Runes of Fire, and Mana Diamond. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get our Runes of Pride. Let's knock that part out, so we can say that's done. And we're also going to need the Ritual Diviner. We already have that. Okay, so let's do... let's see, Rune of Pride is 2 Fire, 2 Summer, 2 Mana Diamond. Easy enough. Let's do 2 Fire, 2 Summer, and let me go ahead and order another Summer here. I think I've got pretty much everything. And then we're also going to need 2 blocks of Mana Diamond. Oh, I have not automated blocks of Mana Diamond, so let's go ahead and do that. There you go. And we'll just throw that into here. I have not automated all the smart cable just yet, but I did get all the dyes and stuff automated, as you can see here. So, I just wasn't ready to do all the patterns yet. I was like, I need to do smart cable, and then I was like, oh, but all those patterns. Okay, so let's go ahead and order 2 Mana Diamonds. Those should craft up fairly quickly. There we go. And so we're going to do a processing pattern, 2 Runes of Fire, 2 Runes of Summer, 2 Mana Diamond, and it sounds like our other Rune of Summer just finished. And bear in mind that these runes shouldn't get consumed when we craft this. So what we'll do is we'll just throw in that, 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 and that. And these do take a bit of mana, as you can tell. Oh, and by the way... Okay, it still hasn't counted my Rune of Summer. I'll grab it whenever it comes back through, because these runes, they don't get consumed, which is actually kind of nice. It's only going to have to craft those runes if we don't have 2 of them on hand. Okay, so there we go. Rune of Pride. We'll go ahead and put that in and encode it. And actually, if you noticed in the last episode, I know Atricus commented on it. I actually forgot to encode the Rune of Mana, but I did do it after the episode. I caught it. I was like, wait, what happened? Yeah, we had... I was about to say, did we get extra runes of air? But no, we had that many. So let's go ahead and grab these so we can turn these quests in. Let's go ahead and add into here Rune of Pride. So we have our first 7 Deadly Sins rune, which is a good anime, actually. Or, well, I say it's a good anime. The first season was really good. Second season was a major disappointment, but anyways, I'm not going to go into that. Rune of Summer, we get a mana detector for that. And then Rune of Pride, we get a mana flux field. Interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and dump these into there and dump one of our runes. Let's go ahead and order 2 more Runes of Pride. So that can go ahead and start crafting. I'm actually going to order these one at a time for right now because I don't have more Runes of Fire, and I don't want to have to go over there and move the buckets and all that mess. So I'm just going to order these one at a time for the time being. That's fine. Anyways, if we take a look at our Elemental Inscription tool, or our Ritual Diviner, now we need to turn our attention to Runes of Envy, Runes of Gluttony, and Runes of Sloth. Okay, now Rune of Sloth is Air and Autumn. Rune of Gluttony is Fire and Winter, and Envy is Water and Winter. Okay, so we need Autumn and Winter. So basically, we're going to have all 4 of the seasons automated. Spring, not technically, because we actually automated that for a different purpose, but still. So I guess we're going to turn our attention first to, let's start with Rune of Winter. Okay, this one's a little bit easier to automate. So Rune of Earth, Rune of Water, that's no problem. Snow, also not a problem. Ice, not a problem. Packed Ice. Didn't we already teach you how to make Packed Ice? We did. Okay, so, and let me go ahead and actually grab these. So we're going to need water. And I think it just finished a Rune of Pride. It did. Now let's go ahead and order 1 more of those. Water, Earth, Ice. We're going to want a piece of Packed Ice. And we're going to want a piece of Snow. I like this recipe a lot because it makes sense, right? It takes snow, it takes ice, it takes packed ice. Things that would actually fit into winter. And then we are going to need cyanite block, plutonium block, ice stone, and cake. Okay, now I don't think, yeah, we have not automated ice stone yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab, I don't know why I'm grabbing 9 of those. We're going to go ahead and just lay these out and teach it that makes ice stone. And we'll just grab one of these. Didn't want that to get sorted. And we'll just drop that into there. Okay, now for the more interesting part. Cyanite block, okay? It already has cyanite block. We're good on that. I'm not going to teach it a recipe for cyanite blocks because we have plenty of those. But, sounds like our last Rune of Pride is done. However, plutonium, okay? We're going to need to teach it how to make plutonium blocks. And to do this, we are going to need the cyanite reprocessor. 2 cyanite and 1,000 millibuckets of water makes plutonium. If you recall, we made that cyanite reprocessor a long time ago. We haven't actually used it because we haven't gotten into turbines yet, but we'll go ahead and automate some plutonium, and we will be getting into turbines before too long because I have an idea for a build that I would like to do for like a power generation center. And so I think we're going to do that before too long. We'll have like an area that's all like power based. Alright, so let's grab ourselves a couple pieces of cyanite, and then let's get, I think I've got water over here. I'm going to put it into this room, and we're actually going to be using a lot of the same interface that we used for this fish setup. So I think, let's see, it's set to extract raw fish. Let me do, tell you what, I'm actually going to straight up use that same interface altogether. And I may end up adding additional cyanite reprocessors. We'll see, because I could easily fit more into this area here. But for right now, let's do our cyanite reprocessor. We'll actually put it just right here, I think. Anyways, let's go ahead and plug up some power to this. We'll just bring this up and along to there. Let me go ahead and remove that. Okay, now this interface is where the recipe is actually going to be at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wrench, hit it on the back, there we go, It's sending items to this, and we're going to do the chest. And then what we'll do is we'll have the items get pumped out just into the bottom of this, I believe. Let's see. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go bottom is insert. And that'll be the red slot. And then we're going to say that we'll say the right-hand side is the green slot, which is output. We'll go ahead and remove that. And let's go ahead and just plug up an item conduit here. Don't want it to connect there. We're going to say that you can extract on the brown channel. And then those items will get pumped into here. I will have to add it to the filter. That's okay. We'll do that in a minute. And then over here, let's go ahead and change this. Let's say you can extract, and we'll say it's always active, and just pump them right up into the bottom of our cyanide reprocessor. Okay, so now we just have to get water over here, which is a chore in of itself. So what we'll do, let's get, let's see, what kind of fluid conduits am I using for this? Well, it's pressurized fluid, but I could move it through either of these. I'm probably just going to use fluid conduits. And we'll just kind of run it along through here and break off this. I don't know why these fluid conduits think they should plug into like all the AE2 cables. It just drives me insane. Like, what purpose does this serve? I can understand if it was like a fluid P2P or something like that, but it's not. Okay. And then we'll just plug this in. There we go. So it should be sending water over to this. Okay, we're going to say that side's red. And then what we'll do is we'll just bring this up and along. Plug it into that. And we'll say you get water from the left-hand side. And I'm going to go ahead and break off this and say you can't insert here. Okay, so we're getting water and we have the stuff set up to send our items through. So then if I just throw in 2 cyanide, you'll notice it's going to start reprocessing that. And it's going to make a piece of plutonium for us. So let me go set up a quick recipe here. And we'll tell it that if it takes 2 cyanide, it's going to get a plutonium. And it does take a second to craft. It's not a big deal because I'm going to order a bunch of it here in just a second and we'll be set on it. That's going to be one of the things. I'm waiting to have stuff automatically created and on demand until the point that we have a quarry. Just because I want to set the buffers high for these things. And I don't want to start just like blowing through all my resources right this second. But we are getting very close to getting a quarry, which is when we will have everything set up to stay in, in stock. And plutonium is going to be one of those things. So, alright, so let's just put this into this interface that's down here. We'll say, there you go, you got a plutonium recipe. Alright, so if I ordered, make me 200 plutonium. Okay, it's going to take 400 cyanide, that's fine. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give it a place to store this as well. Because we do have cyanide being stored up here. I think I'm out of compacting. Oh, no, I got this one right here. Oh, actually, right next to cyanide, too. I think that actually was intended. To be perfectly honest, I think it was. Okay, so do we have plutonium? We have 1. I bet I didn't set it to extract. Oh, I didn't add it to the filter. That's what it is. Because we have that insert filter there that's getting all the fish jerky. We just have to set that over. So let me get this. And we'll just add it to this filter and say that you can insert on brown, plutonium. So there we go. So if we take a look, there we go. 8 plutonium. And I am going to go ahead and just make a quick pattern here. I'm not too concerned about having this plutonium, like running out of it right now. Because the thing is, these runes that we're making today, our uses for these, I mean, we're not going to be ordering these like all the time. So I think we're going to be okay. If we just have it ran through one cyanide reprocessor for, at least for right now. I don't think that, let's see, making ludocrites, turbine controller. It's really, yeah, what about ludocrites? I mean, it's used in that recipe for creative energy cube, which I know will be other recipes because it's all like nested crafting, but And then this. Yeah, I think once we have it set, it's all later stuff. Once we have that stuff set to, you know, stay on in stock, I think we'll be okay. Okay, so that part's done, and we can go ahead and get our plutonium block for our recipe. And then I think the only remaining thing that we need is cake. Yes, and cake is one of those really easy things to automate, okay? There is a couple steps, I will say that, but it's not too bad. So what we're going to do is we are going to use one of the reduced recipes for this. So we're going to say that if you take wheat, put it in a crafting grid, you're going to get wheat flour. And we'll go ahead and encode that. Now eggs, I don't think I've automated eggs. No, we'll do that real quick as well. Okay, so I'm going to order a couple things. First up, I'm going to want 2 tesseracts. And then I'm going to want some sort of a, well, I'll go with a drum, actually. And as far as our drum goes, I think I want to go with a bedrock drum. We haven't used a bedrock drum before, but I think it's time. So let's take a look at the drum. And okay, it's pretty well standard. Weighted pressure plates. Do we have these automated? Yes, we do. Okay, let me get 2 of these. And let's put these into our pattern. Let's get actually I could just shift click it in. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and teach it how to make bedrockium. Okay. That is just smelting a piece of octuple compressed cobblestone and you get bedrockium. So let's get, we have 3 octuple compressed cobblestone right now. Let's go ahead and put that into there, and we're going to make it into a processing pattern. And let's go ahead and grab one of these. And let's go ahead and dump it into just a redstone furnace. It's fine. Okay. Our first bit of bedrockium. And that'll get you 1 block of bedrockium. And we'll go ahead and encode that. And then we're going to teach it a crafting pattern and say that gets bedrockium ingots. And then lastly, bedrockium drum. I'm going to need a cauldron. That way I can just order these in the future if I need them. We're not going to use them for a ton of liquids, I don't think. At least, well, long term we're probably going to use them for a lot of liquids. But for right now, just that. Bedrockium, that's a recipe. The drum is a recipe. And then we've got, that is smelted. Okay, so we've got our bedrockium drum. Are our tesseracts done? They are. We'll go ahead and grab these. And then let me go ahead and order just a fluid tank. Get one of these. And then I'm going to want a rancher. Go ahead and just order a stack of plastic pipes. So we've got enough that we'll never have to worry about it. A couple blocks of plastic, a Z-Logic controller, a couple 10 gears. And we're going to need a machine frame. I'm fairly certain I don't have any slates left in the system. Nope. Okay. So let me pop over. Let me go make a slate real quick. Not going to take very long. And then we should be able to order our factory machine block. Go ahead and order that. And we'll get our rancher. And then the only other thing I think I'm going to need is a hopper. And let me check something. Do we have feathers? Feathers would be, yeah, we've got feathers and we've got eggs. Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Because we're going to be automating the milk and the eggs in pretty much the same place. So those kind of be hand in hand there. So machine block, there we go, there is our rancher. Okay, and then for right now, I'm not for sure how I want to lay this out. Actually, I don't think I needed the tesseract. I don't think, but that's okay. And let's get just some item conduits. Let me go ahead and get just a little bit more. I'm not for sure how many of these I'm going to need. So there's a stack of that. Okay, so let's go do this. And this is probably going to change. Like, I think I'm going to put it over here. Like, our agriculture district is kind of just like plants and stuff like that. Because, you know, we've got the squids over here being harvested. And where is this connected to? Mob farm temp. That's actually probably what I'll use. So we actually don't need 2 tesseracts. But that's fine. I can use one later on for something else. So I think what we'll do is we'll have the cows just right next to the squid. Okay? Because kind of as you walk into here, which I will probably end up sprucing up the cow pen a little bit, but I'm not for sure exactly what I want to do right this second. It's not going to be very large either. It's going to be a fairly small little pen with just some cows in it. If I recall correctly, I think this does a... Actually, the Rancher does a 5x5, doesn't it? Because that's the exact same thing we're using right there. And honestly, if I wanted to get spiffy with it, I could actually put the cows just right above the squid and just have them sitting there. But okay, so we're going to have the cows sitting like right over here. We'll just make a little pen. So just like that for right now. And then what we'll do is we'll put our Rancher down. I always forget these things face off like that. And then let me make sure, where's my sledgehammer? Right here, precision sledgehammer. Yeah, that's going to cover the entire area. Alright. And really, that's about it. I am going to have to run some energy cables over. But this is going to harvest milk from the cows. So I'm going to need energy cables and fluid cables. That's not a problem at all. Let's actually just get a vacuum hopper. And then we'll get some pressurized fluid conduits and some ender energy conduits. And then there's our vacuum chest. And what we'll do is we'll actually put the chickens in with the cows, I think. It's a little bit more space efficient that way. And I don't want this whole area covered because I'm going to want the pathway to come up. Actually, I have to change that a little bit. I'm going to have the pathway come over and up like that. So we'll have the squid, the cows, and the chickens right here. And I think that'll be good, honestly. And then we may end up putting sheep over here. I'm not for sure, but because I can also do sheep with spawners, and it works out very, very well. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our vacuum chest, and we're just going to put this down right here. And we'll go ahead and decrease the range to, let's see, we'll do 3. So it's going to cover basically this entire area to the fences. That's going to collect items. I got some dirt from somewhere, that's fine. Okay, so then what we're going to do, let's come on down under the ground a little bit here. Alright, so what we're going to do is let's have items get pumped out of this vacuum chest. We'll just say extracts, always active, and we'll bring that back. And then from the Rancher, we're going to want to pump out liquids. So we'll go ahead and just put a conduit connector right there. We'll bring that down. And then we're also going to have to pump energy into it. So let's do like that. And then items connect over. And we'll just bring all 3 of these conduits over to the Tesseract. And I'm going to go ahead and set the fluid conduit that connects here to insert only. So it doesn't try to, you know, pull any items from it or anything like that. And we'll do the same thing for the item conduit line. Okay, and that's pretty much that. Let me get my Madoc out. Okay, that's already set to extract always active. We'll just clean this up a little bit. And then over here, we're going to say the fluid connection, extract always active. Okay, so it's got power, it's pulling out liquids, and the vacuum chest is pulling out items. So then what I'm going to do is let me get some soul vials. Do I have any? Yeah, I've got 4 on me. Okay, that's perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to find ourselves just some cows and some chickens to get started with. So here's chickens. Plenty of chickens. Let's go ahead and grab... we'll go ahead and get all 4 of these and just take them back. 4 chickens, 4 cows, and we should be good. Because honestly, that's going to be plenty of animals for this area. So we'll just put these down. Oh, there we go. There's cows. Perfect. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to close this off. And then what we'll do is we'll just put our cows into this area. I've still got a chicken that's missing. I think he's under the ground there. So chances are this should be getting milk, and it's pumping it out to somewhere. I'm not for sure where it's pumping it just yet. I'll have to go see if I can figure that out. But anyways, we now have some cows and chickens, and we're getting milk. And right now it's waiting for the milk to replenish in the cow, but that's fine. There was some, there's some, there's some, and there's some. Okay, So lots of milk being produced, and that is the mob farm temp. I don't know where it would be sending that liquid to, honestly. Okay, and I forgot to set this tesseract to send fluids. That was the issue. The milk was just building up in the conduits, so... Alright, but if we take a look over here, we should have milk 18,000 millibuckets. Alright, beautiful. And then what I want to do is, let's just set up a fluid tank. We will put it right here. And we're going to say that you can pull from that side. It's pulling milk. And then what we'll do is we'll say that you can... Let's actually have it push-pull from the back side. So right here I can push-pull. Okay, so then what I want to do is let's just get ourselves... Oops, one more down. Let's get a quick interface, and let's go ahead and order one more. Because I ordered one before, because there's something that I want to use that for. And we're going to say that if you take a... Alright, I don't have a recipe pulled up yet. Interface, and then just a piece of fluix cable. That's fine. Because I still haven't got the fluid area set up yet, so... Which it's going to be easy to move all this stuff over. So we'll say that if you send a bucket, and then let's just pop up here... We'll put our interface down. We'll go ahead and right-click it. Set down a fluix cable. Alright, so this tank's filling up. And I mean, technically I could just have the tank and not even use the bedrockium drum. That would be okay as well. But I like having a bit of a buffer built up. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a milk bucket. And we're going to tell it that if you send a bucket over, you're going to get a milk bucket. And we'll just encode that. Let's go ahead and dump that into there. Let's dump all this stuff into the system. Tesseracts we didn't end up using. And we've got a fluid tank right here. There we go. So that's how you get buckets of milk. And we should be getting eggs as well. If we take a look. Yeah, we've actually gotten, I think, 3 eggs since we first set that up. Or no, I think we only had like 22 or 24. I can't remember. But we have gotten eggs. So then all we have to do is just make a pattern for cake. It's easy as that. So wheat flour, eggs, 2 sugar, and milk. It already knows how to make sugar. So let's just get ourselves a piece of wheat flour. And there we go. And we already have 1 cake, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And we'll just put that right into there. Okay. So now we are all set for our Rune of Winter, which is actually probably the worst of the remaining runes. Like, once we finish the Rune of Autumn, like, it's so downhill from there, because every other rune is just like that Rune of Pride. It's really just a matter of just putting everything in. So, processing pattern. If you take cake, plutonium block, cyanite block, Rune of Earth, Rune of Water, ice, ice stone, packed ice, and snow. And we'll just throw these into here and get this running. And the nice thing is the milk is going to, whenever it gets done, when that drum is filled with milk, it's going to stop working. Okay? And it's not going to cause any kind of issue for us because everything's interfluid conduits, you know. It can move items, but only if there's a place to put them. It's not going to fill up liquids inside of the, inside of the pipes or anything like that. So we'll be all set. I might end up doing like bedrockium drums for everything. We'll see. If we have, once we have enough stuff. Alright, so Rune of Winter, encode that, and that's done. And we'll just put this into here. And you'll notice that our interface is filled now with recipes, different runes and stuff like that. Okay, so our quest book, Rune of Winter, is done. We'll go ahead and get our Starfield Creator. I love this block. I'm so glad this is a quest reward. We're going to put it right up here. If you look at the night sky, you'll notice it's pretty standard looking. Drop down the Starfield Creator, and now we have glimmering stars up there. So it doesn't take any mana or anything like that. It's just decorative. It doesn't do anything special. But it is a really, I love that block. And the more of these that you place down, the more stars that you have glowing. So if you make, like, say, 15 Starfield Creators or something like that, you put them all down, and the night sky is just crazy glimmering, like, constant. It's awesome. And plus the block looks really cool, too. So, it's like a tesseract or something. Okay, so that rune is done. And I'm happy that it is. And now for the Rune of Autumn. Okay, now this one is not terrible. Rune of fire, rune of air, darkwood sapling, blood sapling, ghostwood sapling, wicker bundle, and then we need metamorphic stone. 3 different types of metamorphic stone. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the wicker bundle. This is super simple to make. All you need is just saplings. It is really it. So we'll just lay them out like that, and there's a wicker bundle. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Okay, then, oh yeah, saplings. Blood saplings, darkwood saplings, we have plenty of these. I'm not going to worry too much about getting these automated right this second, and that is due to the fact that I don't think that we will need it, honestly. If we do, it's as easy as just setting up a farm for it. Bloodwood saplings being the only one really that take any kind of unique effort, so to speak. But anyways, let's pop down here. Let's just set down our alchemy catalyst for a minute. I need to get this thing in a permanent place, but we'll just take our blood saplings, throw these in. That's fuse wood. There's ghostwood. Ghostwood is the only one I don't have, and that's due to the fact that ghostwood I haven't noticed any in the nether. After a certain point in the Natura updating, like it just got broken and ghostwood wasn't spawning in the nether because they changed it or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they changed it so it like spawns on dirt, but there's no dirt in the nether, so it doesn't spawn or something, and it's like impossible to find. So I'm glad there is a recipe for that. I haven't personally noticed any in the nether myself, so I'm assuming that bug is still around. And then for what runes we need? Air and fire. So let's go ahead and just grab one of each of these so that we've got them. And I'm going to go ahead and order another rune of winter because I'm fairly certain that we are going to need it. So we'll go ahead and get that running. And then we are going to need the Metamorphic flower. This is one I wanted to get automated because I need these blocks anyway for building our Botania area because I need this metamorphic stone. So this requires a rune of fire, rune of earth, and then a redstone root, green, red, yellow, and gray petals. Alright, so we'll just throw all this stuff into there, and then our seeds. There's our Metamorphosis. And I think... okay, that doesn't complete a quest. That's fine. And we're going to go ahead and automate this. We're just going to have it fully automated and have it just making stuff, right? But I am going to go ahead and make it floating. Floating black flower, and then we'll make it a floating Metamorphosis. And I'll tell you what, actually, let's do... before I do that, let's take the Metamorphosis, and we're just going to throw it into a mana pool. Right? No. Oh, that's right. You have to have an alchemy catalyst. So put that down, and then if we take our Metamorphosis, throw it in, we get a Metamorphosis Petite. Because I want to make this a little bit smaller of a radius. I don't want a huge radius on this. And basically the Petite versions just make it smaller. Which is very useful for certain cases. Like the radius of it. And then we're going to make it a floating Metamorphosis Petite flower. So there we go. And basically what this does is when it's placed down and supplied with mana, it changes stone into a different kind of version of stone. That taiga stone here. But let's see. All 8 types will generate, but the types that generate more often... okay, I was making sure it doesn't take Twilight Stone. That's what I was concerned about, because I was wondering, like, is this going to take Twilight Stone too? Because if it does, that's going to make it a little bit harder to just have this running all the time right now. But no, it just takes standard stone, which is great. Okay, so we're going to take that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of a similar setup to this. Okay, so let's go ahead and order ourselves just 8 annihilation planes, and then 8 formation planes. Alright, so I think this flower setup is going to be right over here in this corner. Is where I want it. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and just pull up this grass a little bit. And I'm thinking we'll do like that. Kind of have it out of the way over here so it doesn't mess with anything else. So right in here, that's perfect. And that way I can kind of make some use out of this little corner here. And then I'm going to want... see, I think there's, what, 8 variations of it? Perfect. So let's bring this down. Just like that. And then let me get our glass cable. And the Metamorphosis is going to set right here on this block. So then what we'll do is we'll have... Let's go ahead and just remove all this stuff. Put that down. And we're just going to run our cable around like that. And then we'll bring the cable over a little bit here. Let me go ahead and remove this temporarily. And we'll have our controller setting right here. So it'll cover these 8 channels. And then we'll have this Fluix cable come over, connect in like that. And it covers all of these 8 channels that we'll be using. Now let's see, are all of our planes done? They are. So let's go ahead and grab those. And then let me get our interface. And let me go ahead and order one more interface as well. See, I'm not for sure where that cable runs. It's pretty close to us, though. Actually, let me check over here. Right here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this cable over. We're going to set up an interface. Oh, let me think here. Let's see. We'll bring the cable along like that. Over to like right here, let's say. And then let me get some frame drawers here. And I'm going to want 8 of them. And let me pop over here. I'm going to get 8 frame drawers that use mossy living rock. Okay, because there's 8 different types of taiga stone. And that's what I want to store. It's just the 8 different types of taiga stone. So let's do that. There we go, 8 of those. And what we're going to do is just remove a little bit of this mossy stone that's sitting right here and replace it with drawers. So just like that. And that's going to hold all 8 of our different taiga stone. Okay. And then let me go get a drawer controller. I don't know why I'm going over there. I don't really need to. So drawer controller. There we go. And what we'll do is we'll set up our drawer controller just right. And we'll put it right over here. So drawer controller setting right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our storage bus just right onto that. And we're going to bring our Fluix cable over and down like that. Okay, so it plugs in. And then what I want to do is let's get a Fluix, not Fluix, quartz fiber cable. So a couple of those. And let me get a chest for right now. Or maybe not a chest. No. I'll tell you what, I'm going to wait to do the annihilation planes, actually. We'll do the formation planes, because I'm going to want to get all the different types of metamorphic stone. So I think we'll make it manual until we get the drawers set. Uh-oh. Why are you in here? Oh, I'll tell you what. Let me clip that off for just a minute. I don't want it storing all this random stuff into this. Okay, so let's get this plugged up. We're going to do a quartz fiber cable just coming out of there. And we'll just bring this up. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we'll have an interface setting like right here. And we're going to tell this to keep smooth stone on hand. Is all that it really needs to do. So we'll say smooth stone and keep 64 on hand. Okay. And then we'll have, let me get an import bus. Oh, and I forgot I still got this recipe here for the wicker bundle. So let me go ahead and put this up. Okay. So what we're going to do then is we're going to set our import bus just onto the interface. And then, of course, just a piece of Fluix there, connecting it into the controller. And then our formation planes. We're going to set these down along the bottom. And actually, let me break this off for just a minute here. Break all of that. And I'm going to tell these that they can only take stone. just to make sure that we don't start pulling in taiga stone or something like that. And there we go. And then we'll just put our import bus back down. And our Fluix cable. Okay, so it's going to start placing that stone for us. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our Metamorphosis, and put it right there. And you'll notice, I mean, it does it like instantaneous. It changes that stuff over. So then let's go ahead and grab it. Let's grab a little bit of this stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just put it in our drawers so that our drawers are kind of locked down. And you'll notice I'm getting a lot of forest cobble. That's because right now I'm in a roofed forest biome. Like, it depends on what type of biome that you're in as to what you're going to get the most of. Okay, which is fine. I mean, you'll still get everything. So it's not really a big concern. We've got fungal, mesa, forest. There's swamp. There's mountain. And there's taiga. Okay. Perfect. So now we have all the different types. All 8 types. So let me just go ahead and grab our key. We're going to go ahead and just lock these in real quick. There we go. And then it is as simple as... Let me pull this up for just a moment. And let me just move all this stuff. Oh, wait. Go ahead and break that off for just a minute. Don't need that right this second. Go ahead and just pull this stuff up. And we're going to put down our annihilation planes. We're going to put these... Oh, let's see. We'll have one sitting there. Then we'll do like here, 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 and here. And then all we have to do is put our storage bus down. Oh yeah, I don't have it on me. I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and just connect that cable up. So this whole line is connected. And let me go ahead and cable anchor it as well. I mean, I guess technically I could have that quartz fiber cable on this side. I'm not too worried about it though. And we'll just plug our storage bus into the bottom of our drawer controller. So we'll just cable anchor this side. And then we'll put our import bus back. Like that. And there we go. And we should, once we put our Metamorphosis back down, you'll notice, I mean, they're breaking as fast as they get placed. So I may have to facade these. I'll do that, but... Because it's really just staying on one of them. I could probably just do it with one stone. But if we take a look here, it's kicking through some metamorphic forest stone. But we're getting a bit of this other stuff as well. And what I'll probably do is just have the forest stone. I'm going to not put any void upgrades in this so it finally will shut off after a bit. But what I'm probably going to do is set the buffer on the forest stone a bit higher than these other ones. Maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 emerald upgrades. And honestly, by the time it fills that, these are going to have plenty. So... Alright, I'll come back through with some facades and facade this a bit later on, but for right now, that's fine. We'll just clean this up a little bit. Okay, so our recipe was the 3 saplings, the wicker bundle, the 2 runes, and then we need 3 different types of metamorphic stone. So let's take a look here. The rune of autumn. We need taiga, fungal, and mountain. So we'll say if you take taiga, change it to processing, mountain, and then fungal cobblestone. And you'll notice, I mean, we've got a fair amount of all of them already. So we're not doing too bad on those. And then if you take rune of air, rune of fire, wicker bundle, sapling, 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 and you take all 9 of those, and then let's just put this into our autonomous activator. And it's not activating, so what am I missing? Did I get the wrong metamorphic stone or something? Oh, that's right, it has to be smelted. My bad. I've got the cobblestone and we need the actual stone. Okay, so what we're going to do then is let's pop over here. I guess technically I could just have it, but I kind of want to keep the cobblestone in case I decide to use some cobblestone, because that cobblestone actually looks pretty good. I have to say. So let me actually get this smelted first. Alright, so we've got Metamorphic Mountain Cobblestone. If you take that, you smelt it, you get the smooth stone version. And we'll go ahead and encode it. And then the fungal, and we'll just dump these into this furnace interface. Okay, now we're all set. So Taiga Stone, Mountain Stone, Fungal Stone. Now we should be able to put these into our autonomous activator and get our rune. So there's our Rune of Autumn. We'll go ahead and encode that and craft it. Or I mean encode it, whatever. Alright, and we'll just put this into... Oh yeah, all this is filled. So what we're going to do is, let's get that interface that we ordered earlier. And all we're going to do is, let's just, right here, put down an interface, right-click it with the wrench, and put the new pattern into there. So, there we go. That is done. That's still kicking away over there. Is this eating through mana? Yeah, it's eating through mana fairly quickly. That's fine. Because here shortly, that's going to stop up. And for right now, I'm probably going to leave it stopped up for a little while. Once it fills up that forest cobblestone. Because I'll have plenty, and then... Honestly, in this area, I'm planning on using a lot of the forest taiga stone anyway, so that works out well, because I like that dark, deep dark green. So, alright, let's go ahead and order one more Rune of Autumn. Go ahead and get that crafting up. And we've got a quest here, completed the Rune of Autumn. We get a mana distributor. And we'll just dump that in the system. Of course, we've already crafted one of those, and we're using one of those at the current moment. And then let's take a look at our Ritual Diviner. Okay, so we are going to need 2 Runes of Envy, 2 Runes of Gluttony, and a Rune of Sloth. Alright. So, Runes of Envy. It's 2 mana diamonds, 2 Runes of Water, 2 Runes of Winter. So, 2 Runes of Water, 2 Runes of Winter. And I think all of these take 2 mana diamonds, so, or 2 blocks of mana diamond. So let me go ahead and order a bit of this. Alright, this is, I don't know which one it is. It's Envy. I think it's Envy. So what we're going to do is we'll just drop in our 2 mana diamonds, our 2 Runes of Winter, 2 Runes of Water. There we go. It's crafting away. And there's our first Rune of Envy. So we're going to go ahead and encode that. And we'll just pop this into our interface terminal, Rune of Envy. And really, I don't know that there's a whole lot of reason, from what I've seen, to really automate all these runes, but we're going to go ahead and do it because we're already doing it. Why not, right? That way we've got them ready to go whenever we need them. Alright, so Rune of Envy, that completes a quest, and we get an Alchemic Segmenter, which we'll use that a little bit later on in Blood Magic. Okay, so the next rune that we need to lay out is the Rune of something. Rune of Gluttony. We're going to need 2 of these as well. So this is 2 Runes of Fire, 2 Runes of Winter, and 2 Mana Diamonds. So let me get 2 of those. And we'll just go ahead and drop in our Mana Diamonds, our Runes of Fire, our Runes of Winter. That's going to get started running. How's this doing on mana? It is killing that mana pool right now. Absolutely killing it. Oh, that's already backed up. 2048 Forest Cobblestone. And I mean, the rest of these are about 180, 160-ish, which is fine. That's fine for right now. Because I don't want to kill my mana too fast, you know. So, that will be okay. And that's actually probably fairly close to being done now. Okay, let's take a look. Rune of Gluttony. We get an Alchemic Cleanser. And I will say I will get the rest of these automated, but I'm going to do this off camera because it's really just a matter of laying these out, like Rune of Wrath. Then we've got Rune of Greed, which is the same, you know, all the same stuff. Then we've got Rune of Lust, just somewhere in there. I mean, it's really just, once you get the seasons automated and you have the 4 basics and the mana rune, the rest of it is all really easy. It's just a matter of laying out recipes from that point on. So, And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to pop over and change these runes of pride over into inscription tools. So we'll just dump these into there, and it shouldn't take it terribly long, or a terrible high mana cost or anything, or life point cost. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. How much does this take? 12,000. So it does take a little bit of life essence. Then I imagine our rune is probably done by now. Let's take a look here. Rune of sloth. I'm going to put that into there, encode it. Okay, we are doing very, very well right now. And we'll just drop this into there. Okay, so we have 4 of the final tier runes now automated. And all we have to do is add in Lust, Greed, and Wrath. All the runes will be automated, and that's just a very simple process. And we get a Rod of the Lands. This is actually nice to have. Oh, no, that's not good. I don't want these guys here. I think we're safe now. I got a bunch of coal. Alright, so we'll dump that into there. Oh, this Rune of Autumn, I don't need that anymore. That, okay. And that. Anyways, Rod of the Lands, you can use it to make dirt. It's not something we really need so much right this second, but we did get all the stuff that we need for our new Ritual Diviner, so let's go ahead and get that. And here we go. Ritual Diviner. Oh wait, let me double check something really quick. And there's nothing for the new Ritual Diviner either. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get this thing crafted. Dun dun dun. Alright. We got this thing. And let's go ahead and get our Ritual Stones. 36 and a Master Ritual Stone. I went ahead and prepped these things up. That's why we're out of slates entirely now. Is crafting all these things. And what I'm thinking is, if we pop down here, I've been working on this. Oh, I didn't light it up. Didn't think about that, but that's fine. That's okay. We've got this little area here. This is where we're going to kind of house our creatures, and I will end up classing in the top. But if we put down our Master Ritual Stone right there, and let's set our Ritual Diviner to... We're looking for Well of Suffering right there. And we'll just hold... Oh, we can actually see it. Yeah, see, it is going to kind of stick through... I think. Let's see. Okay, it's done. Yeah, it used up all the... That's perfect. Okay. I was thinking I was going to have to remove some of the obsidian, but I'm glad that I don't. And it worked out perfectly. I knew that was about right. I was like, because I looked at the picture for it, and I was like, I think this is going to work out well, because I wanted this to be the roof of this room, you know, in parts. And that actually worked out perfectly. So, our Master Ritual Stone, our Well of Suffering, is down. It's close enough to the Blood Altar that it's going to be able to feed the Blood Altar life points from this ritual. So, and then all I have to do is I've got to go through and glass in the top a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just use glass on it. I think it's going to look good. And I'm going to leave one corner open for right now. And that's because we need to get in there a little bit right this second. But this way, you know, if I have mobs down there, I don't want them attacking me when I come up here, like maybe to do stuff. You know, because all my runes are underneath here. So I'm going to need to change these things out because I don't have access to them on the top. So I wanted to make sure that this place is safe. You know, if we put witches down here, they're not going to be throwing potions at us the whole time that we're down here and stuff like that. That was kind of important to me. So there we go. That's what the ceiling looks like, minus a couple corners over here. Let me clean these up. I think just that one, actually. Yeah. And this one I've got to put a block in, but I'm going to wait till we're done inside of there. Okay, and I was just editing down the footage, and I know we're fairly close to wrapping up point, but we're fairly close to being done with what we're working on. Now, while I was editing footage, I did go ahead and finish out these runes. I actually had to wait on the third one because I ran out of mana. So, but anyways, we get 10 Prismarine Shards for the Rune of Lust. Rune of Greed is a Mana Void. And Rune of Wrath is an Alchemic Router. Which the Alchemic Router, I'm just going to put it in the bag for right now. That'll be fine. I'm gonna have to sort that bag between episodes, but I also got a reusable safari net with witches. I was debating between a few different ways that I want to do this. Cursed Earth, and actually double it up as, you know, a mob farm. I could do that. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with witches for now. And then once we get into Thaumcraft, we're going to change over to Thaumcraft golems long term. I'd rather have those than witches because they don't throw things at me. And then in addition, we are going to need some Jailer Safari nets. So let's go ahead and get, let's order like 100 iron bars. And I've got these single-use mystery safari nets that come from fishing. I've been getting a few of these. We got 20 in here at the moment. Basically, you can throw them down and you get a mystery creature. Not really all that useful for us. So what we're going to do is we are going to use those to make Jailer Safari nets. And I don't want this. I want this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get... yeah, whatever. We'll get 20 of them. We're going to have lots of mana. Alright, and then let's pop over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our spawner setup. And we're going to shut off our Killer Joe. We're going to use our spawner setup. So we'll go ahead and set this to never active. And we'll just pop inside of here. I'm just going to go with it. Alright, so we're going to be spawning witches. And we're just going to be capturing them en masse in our Jailer Safari nets. There's one. There's two. I haven't got hit by a potion yet. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Okay, so we've got 20 Jailer Safari nets with witches in them. And I'm just going to pop up here and put this Safari net away. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll just take our Jailer Safari nets and click our witches into there. What in the world? What are you doing? Stop it. How are you even managing whatever you're doing? Okay, I'm just going to have to kill that one. I don't like whatever it's doing there. Okay, here we go. And of course... Ah. No, you don't. And of course they're going to be battling it out with their potions. Okay. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. They shouldn't be able to kill themselves, because the same thing happened whenever I did it in Craft of the Titans. Like, they were duking it out for a while, but then eventually they got tired of it, and they were just like, whatever. What if I... Okay, that'll work a bit better. I'll just spawn my witches into that. And I'll just block them off for right now. Okay, so they're duking it out, but that's fine because they're going to drink potions and keep themselves healed up. And then all we have to do is take our weak activation crystal, come up here and right-click our Master Ritual Stone. Now you can see 15, 8, 18, 16, 4, 78, 16, 6, 76, 9, 40, and so on. So we're getting blood. Now what I need to do is I'm going to have to, between episodes, I'm going to have to change up all of these runes of self-sacrifice for runes of sacrifice. Which these really aren't too bad. Reinforced slates, energetic alloy, dark steel. You know, all this stuff's automated now. So, I mean, the slates aren't, but that's fine. One thing I do want to get is I want to get a muffler for right now. My only concern is I'm going to have to be super careful about not setting my test world to peaceful now. Because if I set it to peaceful and then I come over here, my witches are going to despawn. So, that I definitely don't want to do. But like I said, we will eventually be changing over to Thaumcraft golems once we get into Thaumcraft. I don't know... Well, I can't look at the recipe since it's Thaumcraft, but... Well, I can still hear the noise, but... Alright, so let's pop over to the Scholar District real quick. I still need to set up a travel tube to Britannia area. I'll try to do that between episodes. I keep forgetting to. That's fine. It's fine. But next episode we will be getting into more blood magic. And it's going to be great because we're going to start getting into multi-altars. Maybe get our altars automated. Maybe next episode. It might be the episode after. I'm not for sure. We'll see. We'll see. Honestly, I would like to get that automated next episode, honestly. But let's pop up here to our achievement stand area. And let's take a look here. That we're going to be getting into before long, once we get a little bit farther into Britannia. That as well. Blood magic potions. I don't know, it's not something that I really use. Maybe whenever... Maybe when we go to the Between Lands, we'll see. This we'll be getting into before long as well. I just wanted automated blood first before we did that. Right here, advance to a cheerful altar, set up the Well of Suffering, and all that stuff. Ritual Regeneration, there's not a whole lot of need for that. I mean, we could use like villagers instead and have Ritual Regeneration, but witches work. Yeah, alternatively use witches. And the same is true for Thaumcraft Golems. They actually tend to regen faster than the Well of Suffering can kill them. And so Thaumcraft Golems, I tend to like those even more than witches. But we've done a Magnum Torch. We'll go ahead and mark that off. Time block we'll get to. This we could make that at any time. This we're going to be getting into. Okay, so I think that's it that we have to mark off right now. Craft another beacon and use it to enter the Twilight Forest. We've done that. Magic map. We've done that. Find a Naga courtyard and kill the Naga. We've done that. Okay. And yeah, this is a whole lot of... We will be doing the Lich next episode because I want to kind of spread it out instead of... Because this is all like just back-to-back going through Twilight Forest, and I'd rather kind of spread it out across the next few episodes. So we will do a little bit of Twilight Forest next episode for sure. Oh, and it does... it does appear... Because I was wondering if the Twilight Forest was ever finished. You know, since the last time that I played with it. And right here, nope. And I love this part. Find the center of the castle and the sign that says Final Boss here. You win. Blame the creator of Twilight Forest for not finishing his mods. That is the best thing I've seen in here. And I totally agree with it. I'm so ready for that castle to get finished. Like, I'm so ready for it. And I've been waiting for so long. Like, but one thing I did notice that was really, really interesting. If we take a look, and that's one reason I knew that we were going to have to be completing all of Twilight Forest fairly soon. Because if you look at Garden of Peace, I was looking at the portal to Alfheim. Because, you know, we got to get that done before we can get our quarry. This is kind of what I'm limiting it to. Take a look here. The Elven Gateway Core. Okay, because everything else for the Portal of Alfheim, we could make that like right now. No problem. Elven Gateway Core, though. It requires Terra Steel Nuggets. That's standard. Living Wood, that's standard. It requires the Lamp of Cinders, which is pretty much completing all of Twilight Forest to get that. And then in addition, it requires either a Soul Shard or a Life Shard, which is top-end blood magic. So by the time we can do the Portal to Alfheim, we will have pretty much finished all the progression for blood magic. We're not necessarily done with blood magic, but we've finished the progression tier of blood magic. And of course, we're kind of automating as we go, so blood magic from that point on is pretty well done as far as hands-on work, and it'll just be kind of expanding on what we've done at that point. And we have to finish Twilight Forest, which is really exciting. I will say that I was originally planning on starting Between Lands. I tell you what, next episode, because we've been doing a lot of automation, right? We've been doing a whole lot of Britannia automation. We've been doing blood magic automation. Let's take next episode. This is the plan for next episode. Next episode is just going to be exploration. Okay? We're going to go to the Twilight Forest briefly. We're going to do the Lich and maybe the Maze. We'll see. But definitely the Lich. Maybe do 2 bosses in the Twilight Forest next episode, and then we are going to step into the Between Lands, or at least try to get into the Between Lands, okay? Because I was planning on doing that in the next few episodes, and since we really have to go through all of Blood Magic and all of Twilight Forest before we get the Portal to Alfheim to get the quarry and everything. So we'll go ahead and just do the Between Lands first. I mean, I'm not hurting for resources at all. I've got like 6,000 iron, but I do want to go ahead and step into the Between Lands because I actually need some of those things for building, like the Elven District and stuff out, you know. In episode 30, I'm planning on doing like a full base tour, so I would like to get a bit of the Elven Quarter done. So yeah, next episode will just be exploration. We won't be doing any automating or anything like that. It'll just be exploring some dimensions next episode. I mean, I guess technically we could explore some... I don't know, we might pop into one of the Divine RPG dimensions as well. So maybe do like a little bit of Twilight Forest, a little bit of Divine RPG, a little bit of Between Lands. So I think that's what we'll do next episode. So I think that'll be fun. But anyways, I'm going to end it out here. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time for some exploration excitement.